On this next one, we've got a center at negative 2, 7. So remember what that means is that means that if you see a negative 2, you're actually going to see the reverse inside the parentheses, a plus 2. And we have a positive 7 in our center, which means when we look at our y squared for our ellipse, it will have the reverse. It will have a negative 7 inside with the y on the squared. Okay. So far so good. We've got an x plus 2 squared and a y minus 7 squared. And remember, it is an ellipse, so it should be the x squared plus the y squared equals 1. Now, when they say that the major axis is vertical, that means going up and down. So they said major axis is vertical with length 10. So by vertical, they mean going up and down, which means they are based on y values. So that means our larger denominator should be on the y's over here. They also tell us that that major axis has length 10. Be careful, that means that the entire axis from beginning to end has length 10. But what does that mean about the radius? Well, remember the radius is only half of that, which means that that part should only be 5. And remember, that's what we square on the bottom. So a squared is actually going to be 5 squared, which is, notice we'll put it on our final answer, 25. What else? Well, then we have to find out what our radius for the x's is, that b. Well, the only way to do that is to use that formula, c squared equals a squared minus b squared. Well, we already said that a squared is, for the major axis, the radius squared of the major axis, which would be the 5 squared, which is 25. We're looking for that b squared, the minor axis radius squared. They did happen to give us c, though. That was nice of them. Well, we couldn't have done this without c, I guess. So plugging in c, which they're saying is 2, would give me that c squared equals 2 squared, which is 4. So keep going. We'll subtract 25 from both sides to solve for b. Do not panic. We are getting a negative. But notice there was a negative here in front of the b squared, so it'll be okay. So we'll divide both sides by a negative 1. That'll get us that b squared equals, from a negative 16 to a positive 16. Then how do you figure out what actually b is? You'll take the square root of both sides of the equation, and you'll get that b equals 4. Be careful, though, when you actually plug in the b into the equation. Remember, it's going to go on your minor axis. It still has to get squared. So your radius for the x's is 4. Squared will give you the 16 on the denominator.